Alright, today I'm working on the Armageddon Ancient. As you can see, I've added a few bits and a different head to him, as well as removing the chest. I'm going to start with Grave Lord Gray speed paint mixed with water. It's alright to splatter it all over. That's fine. I don't care about that. I just want to get some color on top of this zenithal highlight that I've done. I'm going to try to not get it on the gun though. Get it on one shoulder pad. Like I said, this shoulder pad I'm going to try to keep clean. And the reason I'm doing this for the Ancient is because I feel that Ancients are probably going to be using pre-heresy armor, being that they're the oldest. They're the Ancients of the chapter, so we're going to go with pre-heresy Space Wolf. And as you can see, I also have the flag removed just to get into spots that I need to get into. And I'm just going to continue to move the speed paint around to try to get into the darkest recesses. And I'm going to try to make sure that it doesn't pool up too much, particularly like right here. I don't want it to pool up here. So I'm just going to keep trying to move it around. I don't really care if I get it on his head. Alright, so there's that. And as you can see, there's a few little spots that are still a little bare. Let's see, that pool right there, I don't like that, so let's move it around a little bit. Get it down in the back, Alright. Now what we're going to do is let this guy dry for a moment. Right now that we're letting this dry, we can work on the shoulder pad. So pre-heresy Space Wolves had red. So let's get some red on there. Now red is a touchy color, so we are going to have to put a few coats. But because it is a touchy color, we're also going to be able to see the shadows quite well. It's alright to go up onto the rim because we're gonna be fixing that with a different color either way. Like I said, just keep moving it around. Red is a rough color to work with. And we're going to put multiple coats on this to get it to the red that we want. So right now, being messy is fine. We'll let it be messy. And we're going to let it dry and put 2, 3, even 4 more coats of this red on. Alright, we built the red on the shoulder pad up so you can still see through the shadow. The next part is to add the Space Wolf color. So we're going to go in with a dry brush of rust gray. And just lightly adding a little bit of this gray in there, and it's mostly going to be on the edges. We're just letting up the dark, but it's still gonna give that Space Wolf color to it. And we don't need much, we're just a little bit. Just trying to give it that nice gray armor texture, and trying to hit some of the edges just to brighten stuff up a little bit. Don't have to go crazy with it. This is going to be mostly our edge highlight. Okay. See, it didn't do much, but it gave it that cold gray, harsh blue, Space Wolf color. So we don't need much. That's it. That's all we're doing for this. Just try to get it in the cracks and the crevices as best you can, and it gives it that cold Fenrisian look. Alright, now with Noble Skin, I'm going to do the bolter and the gaps between the armor and the flag. It's alright to get a little bit around there. It's fine, because we can just clean our brush real well and move that into the shadow. Just clean it off, move it, and that's going to darken that one little area down. And then we're going to do the post of the banner. We don't have to be too awful crazy with this, mostly because, well, nobody's going to see it in the back, but around where we are going to see it, okay, back and forth motions on a circular area, it's going to cover it better, trust me. I don't care about getting stuff around the backside. I just want to cover the areas that are going to be seen the most. Now we're going to let that dry. Alright, the trick with Noble Skin to make guns and metal look more metally. We're going to dry brush metallic gunmetal color over it. And that just gives it that kind of gunmetal shimmer. Same with the post. We're just going to back and forth. See, it just kind of gives it that nice little shimmer. Like I said, we don't really worry about the back all that much. Get it across. Just a nice metalish shimmer. Alright, for the flap, the cloth, we're going to go in with a sand golem first. We're only going to do one coat of the sand golem. It's alright if you get the cloth here, because we're just going to go over it. Alright, next step is we're gonna go over the cloth and the banner with sepia, just to darken the cloth down a little bit. Now I did thin this down a little bit with a tad bit of water, but this is, we're just trying to get this to darken everything down to make it look a little clothier. Now you can do that as many times as you want to darken that down if you want. I'm gonna keep it right there. Alright, the last part is the trim in gold. So we're gonna do this in gold also. I'm really sorry about the camera moving around and stuff. This is I'm still pretty new with the camera thing. And when you mess up like that, you just get a wet, clean brush and wisp it away. But I'm gonna finish the gold trim first. And like I understand that I'm going into the edges a little bit. Like I said, this is I'm still really new at the camera and trying to paint around the camera. So it's gonna take me a little while to get used to painting like this. It is what it is. Everybody has learning curves. Alright, here is my ancient space wolf. Like I said, I'm not going too extravagant. This was just a quick little paint. I'm not doing the base. I'm not doing the banner all that much because, like I said, this is just gonna be going on my shelf. And the more I do this with the camera, the more I'm going to get used to it. So hopefully we can figure that out as we go.